All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back in the kitchen again with your boy JT. I pray everybody's being blessed, having a blessed day as we thank the Most High for so much. All right, Miss Kim, just responding back to you with what I'm eating today. I got the baby corn, of course, over here, and it's in some grapeseed oil. I got a little bit of just black pepper on there, no salt. And then in the right-hand corner, I got the cabbage. So, I don't know if you're familiar with green potatoes. I believe they call them the plantation potatoes, but let me tell you something, man. If you want to get away from French fries, I've already cooked them, but some people may use kosher salt, but man, they taste just like sweet potatoes. And this is very healthy for you. All my life growing up, I used to see those green potatoes, but not potatoes, but the green bananas. And I never knew that's what they was for what they was for. Excuse me. So that's what I'm gonna eat. I'm gonna eat the baby corn with a little bit of cabbage, and I'm not eating no meat. And I'm gonna use the eat the green banana that tastes like sweet potatoes. Like I say, some people may put a little kosher salt on there, but if you use that grapeseed oil, I have it up there. I put a little bit of fig in there, and then I have some a little apple cider vinegar behind there. But I'm also gonna use eat a little bit of peanuts. Peanuts are real good for you, unsalted, and the avocado right here I'm about to get ready to cut. So that's what I'm about to eat. And I tell you, man, when you eat right, you feel a whole lot better, and then your body's in better shape. So the other thing I got going on is this roasted dandelion root. Drink about 3 cups a day, you know. Then I'm also trying this vegan protein powder. A friend of mine was recommending, you know, cause he said it go good with what you're doing too. So I'm gonna try that out. So I'm just in there having fun, man. Hope everybody's having a blessed day once again. This is about ready. Oh, it smells good too. It smells real good. If you can cook like JT, then it's gonna really taste real good. So yeah, I just wanted to put this on there too, because a lot of us we don't know about these green bananas, and I'm telling you, they really good, man. You once you peel them, some people like to boil them, you know, but a lot of people will peel them, cut the ends off, peel them, you know, put their favorite little seasoning on there, throw them in a skillet, you know, and fry them. And it's like I said, it's real healthy. It's way better than eating French fries with all the salt and ketchup. Because if you think about it, people that use a lot of seasoning salt on their fries or the French fry seasoning, then that's salty, a lot of sodium already. Then you come back around and put the ketchup on there, and ketchup has a lot of salt, and everything has a lot of salt in it pretty much. Even the frozen vegetables that's sitting up. So we have to just really be careful. And I pray most of us start eating better, start living right. When you change, man, you might as well change everything. Change the way you talk, you walk, the way you live, the way you eat. So that's the word for today. Change is good. In the kitchen with your boy JT. Y'all have a blessed day. All right. There's my final dish. And this is done. Got the baby corn with a little bit of black pepper on there. No salt. I have no salt really on none of this. Like I said, I got the green bananas. They don't look green, do they? They taste just like sweet potatoes with just a splash of, I like to actually put a little drop of lemon juice on mine. So I got the cabbage right here with no salt on it, my peanuts, and then my avocado. So I just want to show the finishing product. So I'm about to go chow down, and y'all have a blessed day. Peace. I wish I could have ate like that growing up. You know, this is a video response back to Kay Taylor. I do believe deep down in my heart that if, you know, we would have ate better growing up, that we wouldn't be seeing all these health problems like we see now. But when you grow up in a house like myself, poor, and our parents, they did the best they could, you know. So back then, you know, cheapest meat that you would get was like ground beef. And ground beef wasn't all that healthy then, and it ain't all that healthy now. I look at some of how my older people ate. Man, we were so heavy on the salt, man. When you look at the sodium intake, man, and you wonder why the cholesterol levels were so high, the blood pressure was so high. Everybody was fighting with diabetes and all that stuff, you know. And I just take, for instance, like a sweet potato. To me, just me, a sweet potato was already sweet enough, you know. Just like nowadays, I can eat a sweet potato raw, actually. Or if I bake one, I don't even have to put nothing on my sweet potato. But back then, they get them sweet potatoes, man, and, you know, they get the sugar, and then come the butter, you know, then, you know, a little bit of cinnamon. But when you think about that alone, man, and that's just one of the foods that you eating. Or like you were saying, the French fries, man, you know, it's bad enough that ketchup got all that salt in it. So when you use all that seasoning, salt, and French fry seasoning, and then you come back on top of that with the ketchup, we don't really look at how much we taking in, you know. And it's really killing our bodies, man. It's killing us, period, you know. And me and my mom, we talked about this all the time, man, because we look at generation after generation, you know. Even though, like, when my papa was little, he was born in 1925, you know. So when they growed up, it was a little bit different than what we see because, you know, you didn't have all the steroids in the food and stuff back then like you got now. Even like they say now with salt, not the salt, but the frozen vegetables. Well, yeah, the salt. Even with them sitting up, you know, they still got salt in it. It's like everything now has salt in it. So it's like if we could have, I believe in my spirit, if my mom and them could afford it back then, you know, we probably wouldn't eat all this stuff, man. But, man, we had so much ground beef because, like I say, ground beef was the cheapest. And then you take something like Kool-Aid, all this sugar. Man, that was just too much sugar. I haven't had Kool-Aid since I was little, you know. So as you get older, you know, especially when you get in the spirit and you study more, your mindset change, your whole thought process change, at least some of us. It ain't just you want to live better and get a better attitude and better behavior, but when you recognize this is your temple, even though it's temporary, you still want to treat it in the way that it represents the Most High, you know, to be holy and acceptable. So just think about it. If our bodies is down, if our health is down, what good are we for anything, you know? That's why in my race, man, most of us walking around here, man, getting our legs amputated because the diabetes, the cholesterol level is too high, you know, and it's just all the sweets, and not just the sweets, but taking in all the starch, you know, not exercising. So we have to do better, you know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to respond back to you like this because, once again, if I would have knew what I knew now, growing up, it's a whole lot of things I wouldn't have ate, you know. And I love a challenge anyway with it. But most of all, I love my body. I love myself. And most of all, I love the Most High more than anything. So if I'm going to represent myself like the Most High showed us to, what's wrong with changing the way we eat, you know? And Christians, I just hate to say it like this, but Christians are some of the most overweighted people. I mean, they eat the baddest. They can talk all day long about them Muslims, but I haven't seen too many fat, out of shape Muslims walking around where I stay. They always eating right. They always praying, 3 times a day. And I'm not saying that to down Christians, but the most Christians, man, first thing they do when they get out of church is go to the buffet and overeat, man. You know, that's why they be in the choir stand all lazy and winded out a lot of time. And once again, I'm not saying this to hurt nobody's feelings, but it's just the truth, man. You know, when I talk, I just make the truth. But if I'd have known what I know now, man, I would have done a whole lot of things different. That's why I love to eat right. I love to work out. I love to walk. I love to exercise. You know, unfortunately, you can do all that and things still happen to your body because a lot of times we just don't know why things happen to us the way it happened to us. But we can't let that stop us. Just like I was saying in one of my old videos, the way I used to work out, you know, for size gain. But if I'd have known what I know now, like I do now, it never was about me trying to gain size and hang with them big cats I used to work out with. We in the gym, you know, throwing up 300 with ease. It wasn't about that. So it was about when you training or you training for size and shape, you know. So back then I was training for size. That's why I stopped all that heavy lifting, man, and started doing, you know, shape, you know, routines, training for shape. Just forget all that heavy lifting, because you can put 50 pounds on a boy and make it feel heavy, you know. You just up your reps. So that's why you start seeing a lot of men, you know, like you say, doing a lot of push-ups, you know, curls, getting away from that heavy lifting unless you're trying to compete in a bodybuilding contest, you know. But I just wanted to make that point. Even when working out, I had a point to prove back then that y'all ain't gonna leave me. I probably was the littlest one in there back then, but them guys was cock strong. But I was right there with them. I got caught on that thinking it was all about, oh man, JT can hit 315 with ease. Or JT, man, they had 320 on the rack. He hit that about 10 times. Men will pump men up, and next thing you know, you're trying to outdo somebody else. But see, that after a while, shoulders start hurting. You see what I'm saying? Back started hurting. Them heavy squats. No, that wasn't for me. So I was like, I was just trying to prove something back then. But now, that's why I like to work out by myself. I'm on a whole nother thing by myself, man. It's like I'm not training like that no more, you know. So I try to do things to keep my heart strengthened, you know, like what happened to me in 2012. So, but most people don't understand, they defeating the purpose when they working out and they not gonna eat right, you know. A lot of people say, well, you can still work out and eat bad, but really, you got to watch what you put into your system right here. You know, that's why I wanted to show that play right there, because that's how I eat. A lot of times, people ask me all the time, are you a vegan now? I'm not really a vegan, but I don't eat a whole lot of meat. I don't eat a lot of fried stuff. I may have some meat, you know, every blue moon, you know, but I like to eat stuff without meat. A lot of times, mushroom is my meat. You know, I don't drink a whole lot of sodas and all this sugar. I drink more water than anything, you know. So I just wanted to say this: if we would have had somebody showing us the way growing up, cause see what you learn growing up, that's what you do when you get older. But if you was brought up on all the high sodium and the canned goods, just like I was then, that's what you do when you get older. But we got the power to change that, you know. All them canned goods was full of sodium, man. Full of sodium. Take a plate like, let's just say, fried chicken. Take a plate like fried chicken with all the salt in it, on the skin and everything. And then you got the French fries with all the salt, seasoned salt, plus the ketchup. You see what I'm saying? Then you turn around and get a big old glass of Kool-Aid, if not Kool-Aid, soda, with all the sugar in it. Coke, just say Coke. Coke has always been one of the strongest sodas out there. It had 9 teaspoons of sugar in it back then. I don't know what it is now, but that's why they would tell you to stay away from the Cokes and just do it in moderation. But our problem with growing up was we didn't do things in moderation. We had to do it every single day, you know. So they put a lot of strain on our body, you know. So I encourage people to eat right. See, it's sad, and I gotta say this, it's sad, and it really is, that we won't do what the Most High planted here for us to do and eat naturally. We won't do what's natural, but we'll go in the hospital and let them put us on 13, 14 pills a day with a bunch of side effects. See, it's something wrong with our mindset. And my people just, all this complaining. I was talking to this brother just this morning. He riding down the street in his wheelchair thing, smoking, and talking about he need to ride to the hospital to go get his medicine, but he's smoking, and he finna go get some fried food, and finna get him a bird. Don't supposed to be drinking, don't supposed to be smoking. He's got emphysema, he's diabetic, so he's mixing nicotine with the insulin, which is a bad combination. You trying to either speed your heart up or slow your heart down, and all he do is complain about. This is why we don't never get no words of people. We always getting sick. Look at what you're doing. You've been eating bad all your life, but you don't want to change your mindset and change your ways. Once again, when this heart change, you should change. Your actions should change. But most of us are just stuck on what we did growing up. See, for me, I unlearned everything I pretty much knew growing up. And I look at what I did growing up as a lesson. And I look at it as a negative thing, and I'm now positive off of everything. I don't care what it was, whether it was eating, you know, whatever it was. I've learned from it, and I've turned from it. And that's why people think you are you stuck up and all acting all funny, or you are religious now. No, I'm set apart now. Big difference between being set apart and religious. I'm spiritual now. Big difference between being spiritual and being religious now. So once we learn, you know, to do better, we should do better, you know. So, and I'm saying this because in this day's time, Holy Spirit was dealing with me with this video. That's why I haven't stopped yet. In this day's time, the food now is so messed up. All that processed meat we had growing up, man. Not only did we have the ground beef, but then we had all that processed meat. We didn't hardly have nothing healthy. We had our vegetables, but man, like I say, we got to put salt in everything when there's already salt in everything pretty much. So once again, as you get older, it's harder for your body to heal because your body is not in that young mode like it used to be. So that's why we have to do all we can while we can, because after a while, we're going to all take our last breath, y'all. So I just wanted to come in here and do that little video, this video, I mean. So with that being said, have a wonderful, wonderful, blessed day.